I'm sketching around some ideas here, and I want to tell you that years ago, I guess it was back in, what, 1984, when we had just finished doing Secret NIM, and the games were, you know, all in our future. There was something what I'm drawing right here, by the way, is a girl. I'll tell you who she is. We did up some artwork for a lot of projects that we wanted to get into. And one of them, in 1984, was we were going to do a version of Beauty and the Beast, the fairy tale. And so the girl I'm drawing right here is our version of Beauty. Of course, as history turned out, it really was, Disney wound up doing this. And Belle was really interesting, I thought, as a character. I kind of wished it had been a little more exciting to look at, but you know, there you have it. So I'm sketching lightly this little girl, and there was a kind of a neat thing because we had a dog, which was I think going to be an Afghan, and the Afghan was going to be called Nan, and she was going to be the companion of the girl, the one the girl talked to. I think it wound up being a teapot and several other little things that Belle talked to. But anyway, this was our version, and I thought, well, you know, this would be interesting to just get this out, give you guys a show, and let you take a look at it. I've kind of sketched out a little bit, so at this point I'm going to start going in and committing myself to some nice detailed lines. So let's see what we can do here. Oh dear, my pencil. I always start with, when I start to detail, if I can get the eyes correct, then, you know, I can pretty much be happy about the rest. But if the eyes don't work, I don't go too much further. We're looking kind of up on her face, like this. Now I remember this model very, very well. And when I get done here, I'll show you, we did a color version of this girl, which I thought was really quite nice. The costuming was a lot more intricate than it turned out being in the official Beauty and the Beast. Mouths are always hard for me. I struggle with them. So I have to kind of be quiet when I'm doing it, because I can't draw and talk at the same time. But just to see me chew gum and walk at the same time, I'm very good at that. Sort of weird, but there we go. I can live with some of that. Shoulder. Okay, we did some, there was a girl that worked at the studio about the time we were doing this, and she always wore her hair in these little ringlets just, you know, drop down from the ears. And I always thought that looked really, really good. So, I mean, we never told her, but I'm sure she knew. Just over the ears. And since it's kind of an upshot, I have to be careful that I keep the head so I can feel that there's a skull in this head. If I recall right, her brows were just a little thick. That's not getting too bad. Anyway, it's a pleasant face. And I think that's about the most you can hope for. There is a thing that I kind of feel, and that is all the Disney princesses and all the girls basically have the same. I'm putting a lot of flowers in her hair here. Basically have the same formula for drawing the face. It's the hairstyle that makes them look different. That's not too bad. I'm going to see if my my little trucking device will take me back a little further. It's not going to do that, but I can go in a little further while I detail some of this stuff. Let's go in just slightly. There we go. Now, over the shoulders, I thought this would be kind of fun. This is sort of like a little ruffle that meets right in the center. And here's the bodice. Again, the ruffle. The neckline. Now I've roughed in something. I spoke of the dog Nam right here, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in because I don't want to erase lines. I have to kind of sometimes turn things so I rotate to get a better look. Now I can see the dog a little better, and so can you. So the dog is looking adoringly right at her. So I want to make sure that's happening. Teeth. Afghans are great dogs, by the way. Just the only problem is that you got to keep that fur really clean because there's lots of it. Then to make her sort of like a nursemaid or somebody that is a confidant or can take care of, we make her also very feminine. Notice that the hair is really, basically this is an ear, and it hangs down. Very, 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 very beautiful, like, really. And then right here, this is really kind of nice. We show the hand of Beauty. So it's right in there, the back of the dog. Okay, so I've managed to get the dog in there, and I'm pleased with that. I think that works. There was another character that we were dealing with, and you know what, I have to tell you, and sort of ashamed like, but there's such cliches that we have done in the past, you know, and right now where my brain is, I just think I would avoid them like the plague, but the traditional bird landing on the finger. I mean, you got to say, oh, please, please, not another bird landing on the finger. But here we go. So I'm going to get to the bird now. Let's go up there, and I think so you can see me detail this bird a little bit better. I'm going to go in a little tighter on the bird so we can see what we're looking at, okay? There it is. So we're going to draw her finger so that we know where the bird is landing. There we go. It's not the most beautiful end of the world, but all right, here's my straight. Here's going to be a curve right here into the sleeve. So you can see the bird. I've already kind of roughed it out just a little bit. And I can see that she's not looking quite at the bird, so I want to get the eyes to go up. So it's looking right at him. Now I feel better about that. I don't know too much about this bird's personality. I've forgotten what we had him do. So all I'm doing really right now is then doing the very thing I ask all of you not to do, which is just to draw generic. But I remember he was a happy guy, but I don't remember what his role was in the script. So I have to kind of wing this a little bit. One foot has already landed. The other foot's in the process. To give you an idea, I can see something right now that would help this drawing if I were to darken the inside of the mouth. There it is. Okay, I'm going to go back just a little bit so we can see the whole drawing as together. There we go. Now notice I've sketched out lightly a sleeve. She had very puffy sleeves, which is part of the traditional, you know, look of the Renaissance period, I think. And then we had even gone so far as to put a little sort of slit in the sleeve where another color was coming through, just to make everybody that had to in between and draw these things, I guess, a little more miserable. But anyway, that was it. So that was our version in those days, 1984, I say, when we attempted to do a version of Beauty and the Beast. We were preempted. We ran out of money at the time when we were started to do the video games. But eventually what happened was Disney beat us to the punch on this one. And I want to show you something else right now, which would be, we did a color version of this, and I think you might be interested in seeing that. So I'm going to enter it in here so that you see it. And there you go. So we made her a blonde. Not quite like Belle. And you can see that Nan, there's Nan's look, which I thought would be kind of fun. And there's a little creature over here, which you're not able to see too well. But it's a little lizard. He would have been so much fun to animate. Anyway, this is something out of the rag bag. I just found it the other day and thought, well, you know, maybe out there there's somebody be interested in seeing what could have been. So thanks for listening.